Should be live. I think we might be live. Let's see. Yes, we are live. What is up, everybody? KJ here, Jake, aka Korean Jew Trading, and we're going to be talking about the market with some legendary homies from the dojo, Mr. Stillman, Carti, Xavi. So if you're familiar with the content, you should know these guys, but they really know what they're doing. And we wanted to talk about different trends in the market, what we're seeing. There's like, and then maybe we'll open it up to some Q&A, but just kind of wanted to give you a taste of the type of discussions that we tend to have on a daily basis. And hello. I think we're ready. I'm going to tweet out the link. But
Hey KJ, thanks for having us.
You don't have to thank me. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
What's
An
up,
honor
guys?
and a pleasure. What up, Carti? Before we even do too much, just want to make sure the sound and everything is good. And what were you guys talking about before we went live? I'm sorry.
Winson, I think I can read it like that. Was asking about cycle sector rotations
Oh yeah.
and how they usually line up. And I was just saying that DeFi in this case made a lot of sense. But that the cycles won't always play out in the same order, and you got to pay attention to the narrative and what makes sense at the time.
Yeah.
And I explained why
So
DeFi made a lot of
you
sense.
think it'll go back to DeFi again then? Like
I mean,
DeFi.
it's already, DeFi already has been performing really, really well, right? On the back of on the back of ETH merge, and also like we were just talking about how during all these liquidation events, DeFi products performed pretty flawlessly. So it was pretty clear, and then you could also see it in the charts. DeFi was already in a longer bear market than the later L1 pumps were. So
Right.
the charts had like time to be ready for it too. It's nice how that lines up.
Yeah, like sushi was pumping pretty hard yesterday, but like
Sushi was pumping yesterday. Yeah, I saw.
you look at something like Aave,
Uni
right?
Uni
Look at Aave. I mean, this is like a massive bull flag. The time that it's taking, and like how long did it top? I mean, January 21. So we're already a year and a half of downtrend, and now looking at
Yeah.
this, it would appear like I don't think it's I don't think it's ready to break it. But like best case scenario, you do this, like this, and somewhere in here, and that duration may be different, but if you get another run at these lows, I think you just lock that in, right?
Yeah.
Hold that shit for a while, because if it reverses, the next move will be crazy. And I hadn't thought about DeFi as like the next narrative. Obviously, like the question of what's going to be next, what's the next thing, is something that's like on people's minds. And a lot of gigabrains are talking about gaming, which I think is worth monitoring for sure. You have move to earn as well, but like who's to say DeFi doesn't have another run, like another DeFi summer, quote unquote, not necessarily this summer, but the whole shit going on with like centralized services like Celsius, as well as what happened with Luna and all that. Like DeFi kind of gets a black eye in the public eye, and that might be what is needed to keep people out while accumulation happens. And then you have all these Wall Street types start to really adopt and participate, and next thing you know, it's like DeFi 2.0 major run. Hadn't thought
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Also, what you're saying, that the public is going to misconceive basically the centralized finance blow ups with DeFi, and just think because anything that yields, they just want to see as DeFi. So I think that makes a lot of sense too.
Don't forget, Aave also they have their own stablecoin coming out, eh? Like the DAO voted for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it won't be like every, trash DeFi protocol that came out. It's probably going to be more like you had the big hype cycle for DeFi, and now the quality stuff is going to grow.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw Velodrome that's pumping, right? That's pretty shitty.
I mean, it's not shitty. It's more speculative and came
Yeah.
from a way lower market cap, right? Like because it's just this shiny new place with optimism that you can speculate on
I
and
find it
at a
funny though
fresh
that
start.
like Andre left like Solidity or whatever, and it's like pumping like crazy now.
Yeah, they also had a very nice incentive program where people who logged Velo got like a pretty hefty rewards in OP. And
Yeah.
since OP has been outperforming too, that was very attractive.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's like, I think like the older proven quality DeFi stuff, and then now you can also have new hype cycles on like new shiny stuff. I wouldn't touch the protocols that have absolutely no TVL and are just down in the dumpsters. Although the charts might look the same, I think the volume will be very different in those charts, for example.
Yeah, I think as long as crypto exists, like people are still going to search for yield and DeFi. Like they just won't trust the centralized. They're just going to go to the protocols because, like as you said, we saw that they work. So, like, why wouldn't you like chase yield ever, or like earn something as opposed to nothing, right?
Mhm. Messi said something very interesting yesterday, and I guess I kind of agree with that because I also never really went for it. He said that he never understood people yielding like yield farming with stable coins because he said the risk is just too high for that,
I always felt that way
five
too.
5%, 8% yearly returns. It's not worth the risk, basically.
Yeah, unless maybe you have like crazy size and you just want to like live
If you
off
have
that
crazy
or
size,
something
it's
like
too
that.
risky.
I mean, if you are worth crazy size, then you might, use some of that money and get some stable income in there. But I guess even like, or I think the general idea doesn't change that it might not be worth it. That you could like diversify your money into other stuff like real estate and get the passive from there with much
Oh,
more.
okay, if you want to exit crypto, yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like di outside diversify outside of crypto, yeah, makes sense, 100%.
So, okay, what are you looking at? BTC and Sol right now? I mean,
Yeah,
BTC,
I'm just looking
BTC and
around.
ETH, we are getting the retrace now that we were expecting.
It's in.
I think it's
So
going to go further.
yeah, I think it should. So like but I made a tweet and I'm trying to monitor the amount of engagement on it because it's getting a little more likes than I would have expected. And the tweet basically says at this point you could probably sell everything and chill and come back late September and rebuy for cheap and then hodl for a couple years and you're just going to outperform people with that strategy. And it's getting a good amount of likes. But the reason why I said that is like last night I was looking at I also said like we're probably going to get a retrace or some sort of correction today is because like this is 99 moving average, this is a neckline right here, like this is a very logical area for a pullback. And then when we looked at SPX, it's kind of in the same thing, flirting with this MA at a neckline. um and Bitcoin was kind of showing a double top. We took the high on Bitcoin, and just like the combination of sentiment plus positionally where these charts are on like the higher time frame, it seems like a good spot. And then speaking of Messi, I was trying to get him on the stream. He wanted to join, but he's got something going on, unfortunately. But he killed that fucking woodpecker like today, I think.
Oh no, that was like my favorite
I
bear
think he
market
killed the
arc.
woodpecker,
God
and
damn.
it's just like an interesting omen.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's very interesting. I was actually like kind of not looking forward to the day that arc ends.
yeah, it
Also,
just
because of
it's just
markets.
like
Funny.
it sounds silly, but like stuff like that is kind of I don't know. It has a
I
way of
know.
working
Uh,
out.
totally know what you're talking about. However, like regarding the like selling now and coming back after the high holidays, I think that could work if you're not, paying super close attention every day, for example.
Yeah.
I still think that this rally could go higher.
Yes.
I was just expecting like I was selling yesterday with you guys because I was expecting like some sort of correction, and now it's underway, and I think it could go further. Maybe take those stops below the last consolidation, go for those MAs that you got there, something in there. That would be really nice. But I would still be interested in loading back up there and try. And then, I mean, if it doesn't work out, you gotta accept that. But I think that there could be more room to the upside. I totally agree with the like 1700 level on Ethereum, though. It made a lot of sense to find resistance there, and yeah, above
This is
it
just
we
so
can
bullish.
go
I think
some
like I've
nice
seen
couple hundred
this.
done
I've
higher.
seen this retest like around here.
Yeah,
So
let me ask you a
this
question.
candle
Yeah.
structure, like on Bitcoin, this daily, is just like so fucking bullish here. But this tends to like retest like at least like around here. So like it could come back
Mhm.
down and then make another leg up to like 26, 27. But if you go below this, then like it's gonna be a shitty month, really. Like
Yeah, let me ask you guys a question.
yeah.
The merge. Okay, let's say it happens in September. Okay, let's just say hypothetically it actually happens.
It's not
Like,
gonna
is there
happen.
some?
It's not gonna happen in
Okay,
September.
well, eventually it will happen one day. So let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Currently looks like it's going to happen in September,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. Let me just ask this question though. Like, two
Yeah.
things. One, do you think it's priced in? And two, like, do you think the miners are going to outperform the stakers by staying on like the first chain because it's a fork, right? Like, it's like Bitcoin Cash days, you know? I'm just curious. Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was
It
I
thinking
can
reminded
about
see
me
like
of that
Bitcoin
too.
happening. I'm still not sure.
Uncertainty.
So I think the big difference is going to be that unlike Bitcoin, which had like no applications on it when it forked, you just had that naked chain and the coins. Um, Now with Ethereum on the fork, everything is going to break like immediately. Like you're forking all those protocols with it, all those ERC20s, and usually they are in liquidity pools with stables, but the stables are backed by Tether or Circle, and they won't, they can't double the amount of stables with that fork, so that won't be backed. So all these liquidity pools will collapse immediately. And I think that people who are smart would be really really quick in extracting that forked like original ETH, and convert that, drain the pools as fast as possible for the Ethereum. And then when I think that if we get a situation like that, we could have some like Bitcoin Cash style pump on that coin, but then I would get out
I
really
heard
fast.
that Tether is going to stay on the proof of work because like proof of security could be like proof of stake could be like a security, and they have like already like the legal eyes on them, so they might just stay. And then like it's pretty much where all the stable coins go. That's like it's going to win the chain that's going to win, right?
Yeah, but I can't. Are you sure about that? I mean, I don't think that
Yeah, I heard
that
Tether says they're going to go with the miner because it's been not
the
like
Ethereum,
security.
the Ethereum token, like the proof of stake one being labeled as security, shouldn't be of significance to like ERC20s on that chain.
No, it's
So
just that Tether's like always has like a legal view on top of them, right? So I think
I gotta look into that. I'm surprised, and to me at least, like spontaneously, it doesn't make so much sense.
okay.
What is that noise?
Just my fucking squawk. Sorry.
Hey, Carti, you wanna? Does anybody want to share their screen and go over anything?
Cardi, you want to do some like global time frame BTC?
Yeah, give me a second. I just entered a trade, so that's why. Hold on.
Hey, just like look at this area though, like on F,
Let me load it.
like look. I mean this this is not the area. I mean, like it's like you know, if we can get through it, like you're coming up here,
All right.
and then
I'm
like
gonna
who's
share.
to say, right? Like it could just be bullish as fuck.
I
Like, it's
think
possible.
if you get through it, it's going to
It's
be
going up
very
here.
violent very quickly to the upside. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like such strong resistance.
This
You see my
is
screen?
no.
I
I'm
still
about to switch it. Hold
I
on.
still think that
Right.
Ethereum can get through it. I just think, that it might need some fuel in order to do it, and not just like walk through it. That would be very weird.
All right, KJ, tell me when you're ready.
I'm trying to pop out. How do I do that? Like it's live. Okay, here we go.
You got it?
No,
Oh, nice pump here.
now I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna be kind of quick just because I'm like I just longed the bottom here, but pretty straightforward here, right? Like, look, we had like the old high that that caused us to come all the way down. We just took it out this morning, like you were saying, like overnight actually. We rose up here. I mean, the good risk reward would have been short this area, stop up here. Stocks are still bullish today, so I just think the liquidity is low on a Friday.
Be aggregated in the background.
Yeah, the AGR, sorry. So I think it's like just like
SPX is starting to
slow,
lift
like
here.
low liquidity, especially it's like the last business day of the month, right? So just look at like the 1 minute. Like we came up here, we took out all these highs, right? We were like consolidating above this. Again, if you're short, you have to stop up there. And then we came back down here, and like I mean, if you look at the 15 or whatnot, like this was support, right? Call this your deviation or whatnot. It's like a range, right? So you have this, and you have this, right? Maybe a bit higher actually. Up here. So it's like just playing in a range here. These are like wipeouts, wipeouts. Trap the shorts down here, rip it right back up. But yeah, I mean like we're about to get to a neckline here, 23,875. Hold on, I gotta take some profits then. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta take some money off here. Sorry. So yeah, like I mean, I trade usually on the low time frames here, but this sell-off here at like the 4 hour, I think was like Ethereum led because I was watching both of them. I watched them one on top of the other usually, and like Ethereum led this. Like here, if I go to like 5 seconds, I guess, or some shit like that. Like this was a hell of a sell-off here, like instantly, like right away in 5 seconds, 0.5%. Whereas Bitcoin, like, well, I guess maybe it's the same thing. I don't know if you guys are just watching ADGR then, like I was. It was a pretty crazy sell-off there. It like came out of nowhere. It was just pure air. You had like the run up here, consolidate, and the stocks were like looking good. So this was like this caught me by like surprise. I was long like this area, and I put my stop here, and I got stopped out like just a small scalp, and then
They were hunting you, Cardi.
yeah, but then I shorted right away and made it back. But yeah, it's like too many trades. Fuck. Oh fuck. But anyhow, it's like last business day of the month. We had like a big options expiry overnight, and it's summer trading still. So there's not many people in the market right now. But again, like the S&P is like looking good, right? Like it's going back to the high here. So I mean, like it's gonna play in this range, I guess, the rest of the day. To be honest, it'll play in this range. It's not that big a range. Like what is it? Like 1.5%, 1.7%. Like if you hope for if you're trying to short all the way down here, yeah, it could happen. But like, I guess you long this till you can't. Like you long here, stop here. You short here, stop here. So it's like you give one of these, one of these. I mean, the risk reward's kind of shitty. But I mean, the way that I trade, like I don't wait for the stop to hit, and then you give one of these. I should change the colors on this. You give one of these. Like it's just a range here. I mean, if it starts creeping up on those low time frames and the stocks are new highs, like you shouldn't wait for your stop to hit. You just get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But look right here, like We just kind of rejected that neckline. Nothing crazy. So it was doing that fucking bullshit again, like this sideways stuff, like it did here at the neckline. So it's gonna like roll over here. So I'm cautious right now, and I'm not that. I'm long like at 750, so it's nothing like ridiculously good. Um, but yeah, that's like what I see for today. Again, the end of the month is coming up, right? And this monthly is like pretty decent. But like if the monthly closes like this, I think like we at least end up to here, like 26.6. This would be like ideal, but this would be the biggest resistance ever, like right here. But at least get like a bounce up to here or some shit. I wouldn't like it to be like this bounce stops here and then like comes back down. That'd be fucking miserable. But again, it depends on stocks. It depends on stocks. I guess the fact that the White House rearranged the definition of a recession kind of helped. But yeah, that's pretty much all I see. Like, look, like down here, like there's nonstop buyers, right? I was short, and then I saw this like nonstop buyers, and I mean, if I should have longed here, stop here, but it's just nonstop buyers. And as it started to creep up, I said, "Fuck this, I'll go long," and I did. And I was short from like up here, so it was a small scalp. But yeah, like low time frame, it's just like again, like I said, ranging. And I mean, stocks are right back at the highs right now. If this doesn't rip up right now, I don't know what to tell you. Like that's not good for the weekend, you know? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, like I said, last business day of the month, and Sunday's the last day of the month. So expect a little bit of volatility going to the end of the month there.
All right, good shit. Yeah, I think honestly, I think like SPX is gonna pull a cuck job at the end of the day, like towards the end of the day. I don't think. I guess we'll have to see, right? But I don't know. It looks like it's rejecting. Like I don't love this. What it's doing right here on the 1 minute. Like look at Carti. Pull it. Like look at SPX. Like you know what? Like on the 1 minute. Yeah, I don't like that. Anyway, Stillman, you want to go? Anything you want to talk about?
Disconnected there, sorry.
Sure. I can maybe we can take a look at stablecoin dominance, for example. Going live.
You're good.
Awesome. So something that's generally very, very nice to see if you want to be bullish was those parabolas on the stablecoin dominance charts breaking down. This is the USDC one, and it's become increasingly important as Tether's market share declined. So USDC, good chart to keep track of. And these parabolas, they are a bit iffy to draw, and it can get subjective. So I had like two possible angles here for it. Both of them got broken and bearish retested, and with each of those points marked really good entries for long swings. Now currently it's coming more into support. I drew this on the 4 hour, I think. Yeah, this is not super clean, but like the general angle of strength here. So that was one reason why I took off profits and exited positions yesterday. And then on the compounded stablecoin dominance chart, you also have it coming into support. I have fibs here, which have proven to have some sort of predictive quality, but it doesn't matter that much. Like if you're not into that stuff, you can see the areas of support here, and yeah, this is not a tradable asset. It's like the whole market compounded, but it does react to supports and resistance levels. It's basically behaving like price. So this was like another point. Like I could see this come lower towards those MAs and that wider parabola before it really bounces. But I was expecting like at least some bounce here. And that currently happening, although it's not too strong yet. Gotta see how that plays out. And lastly, Tether dominance. Yeah, also on some support here. Don't have a parabola on that one. So yeah, that's something I like to keep track of, and I found it pretty useful. And then maybe we take a look at our where is it? Our BTCD plus stable dominance. So that's KJ talked about this on stream several times already. It's BTCD with the stables. I added DAI in there. It's also coming into some support here, although the whole structure looks rather bearish, in my opinion. Has that nice rounded shape to it. Whoops.
I think it. So when I was looking at it and it was much higher, mine doesn't have die, so it's like the level is different, but
Yeah,
positionally, like I was saying, like 53.5% without die, and like that's like
yeah.
exactly kind of where it is right now. So
And when I remember like, you going public with this when we hit in here.
yeah,
So that was
that was
basically the bottom on
Cointelegraph,
everything.
pretty much the bottom of
Um,
everything. Yeah.
yeah, so that was really good. And now, yeah, it's starting to come into an area where you would expect bounces, right? So, um, and if it falls true, yeah, there could be some really nice moves waiting. But currently, I'm more on the cautious side. What else is good? I saw Badger was pumping. I actually looked at that chart yesterday, but I didn't buy it.
What do you make of the Bitfinex longs and all that now that this is kind of playing out a bit? I remember you had been very kind
Mhm.
of like cognizant of that. And also, by the way, guys, we have 10 likes, only 10 likes. Can we get some more, please? Smash up the likes if you're watching. This is I mean Stillman, I don't think Stillman's been on stream. We haven't been on stream together like this in a long time. So,
A long while,
come on.
yeah. So
You guys could do
so
better
with
than that.
new price scale. So with this chart, I talked about this with Byzantine General and JJ Cycles on Twitter a while ago. Like leading into these highs on the longs. In the past, the way that this behaves, the whole Finex long trade, is that they can add, like, if you are retail and you want to try to trade off of this, and you think, oh wow, the longs are rising, longs are rising, there are even more longs. They can add longs longer than you can stay solvent. And it's probably also like part of some larger setup, some carry trade, some options hedging happening on the other side, um, where they, I think, collect funding. But generally, they do start to get long on declines, and the moment that it tops out is oftentimes when the market turns. So basically, like they add and add and add, and then when the market turns, immediately they start to cover, which you can see here, right? The market turned and they started selling for the first time since here. And this was also very briefly, right? So basically, the whole way down since what's that? 44K. They've been adding to longs, and then it hits bottom, and immediately they start to cover. So far, it has not been as drastic as back here. This was when I was paying attention to that as well, back here in July 2021. At that point in time, they like covered way harder, quicker. It's not the case yet, so I'm not too sure about this, but this is what I like to see out of that Bitfinex long situation. And the shorts are much less significant in terms of size put on there, so it's not that important. I think you had Ethereum, also not as significant, but you had Ethereum longs starting to close too. So bit of a similar idea here. Happened a little later. But I also like that. Bitfinex longs decreasing is actually a good sign for a longer pivot, a longer term pivot. So yeah. What else we want to look at? Total maybe. I think Chris had some nice total market cap charts. recently for us. Get rid of the BTC overlay. Yeah, looking nice. Currently, total actually still has kind of a gap. Of course, there's this level here, right? But other than that, I like to trade these fan to fan, which oftentimes works very well. The reaction on that GAN fan back here at the March top was incredible. It was just a brick wall. So now we like traversed several angles. And I got the next alert set up here to take heavier profits, which is like after reloading, which is actually where Ethereum sits now structurally, right? So total, because Bitcoin has been weaker, etc., and not the whole market wasn't able to keep up with Ethereum, is structurally at a lower place still. So it has some room to fill, but Ethereum could reject from here in its structure and cause like an overall retrace, and then you can aim for that higher trade. Maybe from the fib, maybe from back at the fan. That would be pretty nasty actually. I would prefer it not doing that. So yeah, that's total two, I think, looks similar. Actually, it's actually more similar, without Bitcoin in it, more similar structurally to Ethereum. And right at that resistance now. So we're gonna see how that plays out. Otherwise, you can also aim for that bigger move, I think.
So we have total 2 is at GAN resistance right now.
Yeah,
I'd say.
yeah. It's kind of above it, but
It's
usually
like right there.
the
You
wicks can
have-
like we saw on total here, like the wicks
You can
can
get
go
wicks.
through. So it's not super precise, but as a general guidance, it's pretty useful.
You have SPX 500 at 99-day moving average resistance and neckline. ETH the same thing. Bitcoin, Bitfinex shorts closing for the first time in a while, but just a trickle, the beginning of it. And Messi killed the woodpecker.
And Messi killed the woodpecker. Yeah,
I don't know,
like
guys.
we are heading for like 21 levels on the VIX. So this angle is still not dead. But
As
ever
well as
since
BTCD adjusted
we broke this, it was very nice.
BTCD adjusted is in like the target bounce area as well.
Mm-hmm.
And not like
Yeah.
bounce like bullish like it's gonna be. I mean, this could manifest into like a Xavi middle finger on BTCD, which you kind of would hate to see, but if you were in cash, you would love to see, because then that would bring one more high, which would kind of coincide with like the September dump that I'm thinking. And like, if BTC pulls back to like range lows, let's say in September, or like makes another higher low or something, and this does like a middle finger and takes that high and goes to like 68, something like that, then like buying alts on that move, like you can like make like $1 million out of like 5,000 probably, if you play it right. Like there will be like if that move comes, it's going to bring a massive opportunity for some people, because what'll happen is like people that are deploying capital now that were scared like a month ago when we were bullish, like people are starting to deploy now. They're going to get round tripped, and then they're going to puke their positions like at the bottom, and then they're going to have nothing left, nothing to buy. And it'll be like a really scarce position if that happens, because it'll get scary. I'm telling you, for the past 5 years, I feel like right around Labor Day, it gets really scary. Almost always.
Yeah.
So
Without pretty much always, right? Like ever since we've been trading crypto, it's been that way.
yeah, it's not just crypto, and
Yeah.
that's a little alpha for you guys. You can check if I'm lying, because charts exist. You can go back in time and look at charts and see if I'm a liar. But
I still don't remember. I got mega wrecked in 2017 back then on like stuff like Walton Chain, Waltcoin.
dude, September is
September.
awful.
I remember
It's
because
awful.
you actually managed to sell, and I was too slow on the trigger. Man, years ago. So yeah, this chart this is just BTCD flipped on its head, right? So this is basically like my old altcoin dominance chart. I don't know why the fan lines don't line up anymore, but it doesn't matter
I
that
think that
much.
chart is just
So
broken. I
what
haven't
I
looked at that one
noticed
in
what I
forever.
noticed yesterday and what I found really interesting, and kind of surprising maybe, was that basically since the start of the bear market, if we consider the first BTC top as like, the proper top, quote unquote, um, altcoin dominance just ranged. Like it never entered a bear market of its own, which
Right.
I find crazy. That
It's a new
the
paradigm.
relative
It is
strength
different this
there.
time. I really, I mean,
It is different this time.
it is.
Like, I mean, this also obviously looks a lot like Ethereum BTC's chart. Um,
True.
but like thinking, like just abstracting and thinking about what this represents, like, all the top altcoins versus Bitcoin, I find it very, very notable and wouldn't ignore this relative strength. Um, it's yeah, it's a bit to me it was surprising thinking about it like this and visualizing it like this, that alts are basically just ranging throughout all this carnage versus BTC.
Yeah, it's just BTC on leverage, really. I mean, you can lose it all, like get liquidated on something like Luna, but in general, like it's just, in my opinion, like when you feel like the top of the move is there, like alts tend to overextend further than BTC now, and they tend to dip harder further than BTC. Think about like May 2021 when when Elon came out and said something about BTC or whatever, but structurally it made a tremendous amount of sense for a dip there, but like stuff went. I mean, you saw alts taking minus 50 to 60% in a day. Like, it's very rare to see Bitcoin do that. You're not going to really see that happen much. But for alts, it's possible. I mean, that was one of the worst dumps I've seen. But at the same time, you got Luna at $3. You got AVAX at like $9, and then these went on to do more than 10x from there. Some even more, like Sol. So when you get like and this is kind of like what I'm talking about as far as planning in advance for like what's possible, and what an actual like golden opportunity that may present itself can be, is that Bitcoin, if Bitcoin were to retrace and go to range lows or something, I think you'll see Bitcoin dominance rising, because when Bitcoin's showing strength, you're seeing alts show even more strength, and like the same is true of the inverse. So another thing and thought that I had actually is, as long as like Bitcoin's not at resistance, if it's in between like two resistance levels and showing strength like it has been, you can actually play the meme coins. Like meme coins are doing like everybody's doing well that had exposure for the past month, but like in these periods where like Bitcoin is showing strength, and obviously even more so Ethereum, like meme coins are doing like 10x in like 2 3 days. So I think like for the people that pivoted away from them, like whenever you see that, like ETH is strong. So like for instance, let's say we break up again, and it's not like a rejection like we're looking for here, and the next levels for ETH are like around like low 2Ks, like in that move from like 1700 to let's say 2200, like $500 move on ETH. It's like a nice move, especially if you're leveraged up, but it's risky too. But at the same time, like in that time period, you can take like some of your ETH and like fuck around with meme coins, and if you're in tune with what's going on, you can get in early into some of these things. They're doing like 10x in like a few days. Like, not to name names, but like there are coins out there really ripping. You don't need a tremendous amount of money to play these, because the liquidity isn't always there. But like let's say you have like a few $100 or $500, like in that time period, like you can try to turn that into something significant. You just hit a couple good trades, you could turn that 500 into 10,000. It can happen, and you just lock it in, and then if the move occurs where we retrace, BTCD breaks out, everybody freaks out like mid-September, and you've made capital on memes in that time period, then you can, really compound that. So I don't think it's a good time to ignore memes. Like, just keep an eye on them, and as long as like ETH isn't like at resistance, play them. I think.
If you can find an edge there, like
Yeah,
I
yeah. Some
can't,
people
for
suck at it.
example. I can't like
Yeah.
I'm not good at it, and it's not my environment. So like occasionally something works, but I can't reproduce it. Basically,
Yeah.
it's more of a gamble for me if I do it.
Yeah, to be you have to like the edge is like being in communities, right?
Hmm.
Like knowing
Yeah.
people that know, you know. That's
Yeah.
the edge. That's the edge. Is like you'll find these like small Telegram groups, like 10, 20 people that like are just like all day shitcoining and like anytime something launches, like somebody will have a bot or something, or somebody will just be watching the contracts and be like, "Oh shit, look, this just launched," and then they'll be watching Twitter and watching different call groups to see like who's on it, and you kind of like ape in the first hour or whatever, and then just hold it for a couple of days, and it's a calculated risk, but like on the ones that are good, like if you get in like the first hour or whatever, like you can 10 or 20x. And there's usually also a dip too. So like if you see something and it's like, oh shit, I missed it, I was away from my computer, then you wait for the dip, and there's almost always like a good dip too. It's very difficult to get in like super early in the first few minutes. Like I seldom make there, but I'll wait for that first dip and then I'll go in. And sometimes you just get rugged and lose it, but that's the way you have to structure your risk. Like when you're buying something in the first couple hours, it's like either I'm gonna make 5 to 10x or 20x or more even, or I'm gonna lose all of this. And as it starts to mark up, you take some profit off, so you make sure you got paid. But yeah, OP, dangerous spot.
Yeah, OP was a really nice move,
Yeah,
but
beautiful.
you know, so it took all of this, whatever, was there in terms of stops, and now it's kind of dumping. So yeah, that move for now, I would like to see a larger retrace.
This guy's saying, will we get a bull run this year?
Maybe 2 year.
I think. I mean, like, I don't think you're gonna get the top this year. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't like. Like I think like the next bull run like it takes time, and like when you're in a bull run you don't, especially in the beginning, you don't realize you're in a bull run the same way we've been in a bear market for like almost like 2 years now. Right, like it's like over a year and a half at this point, but like everybody's just saying it now, oh it's a bear market, as it's like getting closer to its end most likely. So you'd have to define to me what you believe a bull run is for me to answer that. But like yeah, I think the bottom is either already in or will come in a similar area at some point this year, and then you're gonna have like kind of like the way price is moving right now, where it's up down, but it's going up, and we can be most likely in the beginning of a bull run right now. That's going to take time to play out, the same way the bear market takes time to play out, the bull market takes time to play out. And I guess the short answer is yes, but I don't think we're getting a bull top, like a blow off top. It's going to be like it's going to take time. I don't think that happens this year. Xavi's here. I didn't. Xavi, are you talking? I can't hear you at all. Has he been talking?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I saw
Hey,
the green.
you wanna
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wanna take over the screen?
Um, I don't have prepared so much, but
Me neither. I'm just going
No,
through random
neither did
stuff.
I.
okay.
We're just talking shit.
Yeah, for sure. I can show you what I was looking at right now. Um, I share my screen. I was
Awesome.
just I was just spending some time, looking for stuff and clues and indications, and I wanted to look at SPY and ETH and compare them next to each other. And Yeah, there you go. You got it. Uh, something that I was watching here is that, well, basically they're like super correlated, right? It's like almost the same chart. Maybe a couple of disparities here and there, or there are a few things like, so the orange one is Ether, and the candlestick chart is SPY S&P 500, and two things that you could see, are very kind of different would be like a month, 2 months ago in May, uh, SPY did that kind of bearish retest here, whereas Ethereum just died here. Something else that happened was that here SPY did its all-time high in December, January, whereas there was just a lower high on Ether, and the high was put before. But other than that, it's like very, very much the same charts, the same pattern, the same stuff. Uh, and but if you go back to like the crash in May of 2021, June 2021, uh, both had a crazy run. Again, you can see like spot the same pattern, right? I mean, it's very, very correlated. But Ethereum, like, obviously kind of pulled a 2x here, which of course the S&P isn't gonna pull a 2x. But from there we had a correction, which is like these dips here, right? And then that was enough for SPY, and it kept going. Whereas Ethereum also, that's kind of here a decoupling on not on the way you want to see it, but SPY went back up, whereas Ethereum went back down. And so the low here in June from that May June retrace was put in on that dip, right? So now I was using this like as support, and you can see that SPY right now is at that resistance from that dip, the June dip, and the second one here on SPY and on ETH is the same place where we are now. So I agree with you when we're hitting like resistance, left left and right, and EMAs, and it's kind of a nice a very, very bullish recession, right? That's the way we put it now. It's the most bullish recession ever. But um yeah, I was just I'm just looking for stuff, like I said, I had nothing prepared. I was just like really like trying to find because SPY is having a strong day, but you like you said, you are expecting it to cut tonight, uh, in a couple hours before the close. This could happen. Um, but yeah, like the angles are pretty much the same. If you take uh like that angle, on SPY, and then uh we have a nice breakout here, and here it's kind of the same. Um, it's very much similar. Uh, it's kind of the same chart. So really, like the whole decoupling thing is not happening yet. Obviously, um, we have SPY breaking. That's SPY alone. We have SPY definitely having kind of the momentum we're expecting in the dojo calls, where really like we are back to 410. Um, and I guess that's still what we need to look for. Like stocks are still like kind of beating the measure. Um, I look at the Dow sometime. That trap that happened a month ago really was a mind fuck for everybody. Now we're back at resistance. Also, I mean every chart looks actually like the same. That's the Nasdaq also hitting that very, very meaningful MAs here. Like you can see, this is very, very meaningful all the way up here, and then when we break it, it becomes resistance, and how right we are right on it today. So it's going to be very interesting close, and very interesting beginning of the week next week. Um, yeah, I mean, like we kind of nailed that bottom And but now, like I think you were very interesting, accurately saying like you could maybe take some profit and wait for the next dip to come back, but um, unless we are having some sort of like end of market price action where end of bear market price action where something reminiscent of the previous you know previous run where I mean you cannot really compare like that price action we're having now to like the 2018 bear market at all, like in any ways, but yeah.
Yeah. Like there are fundamental reasons for those like regions in price action to look different.
But when you zoom in and you look at this, it's kind of more of a week off, I guess. The week off memes are back rather than post COVID recoveries or yesterday I said the price action reminded me kind of of that structure actually.
Mm.
And
Also like shortly after the CPI data dump, we also started to notice the Dalai Lama's coming back, right? And it's been a while on the lower time frames. So that's interesting that you're spotting some of that price action feeling. After earlier we spotted those Dalai Lama patterns again. Because they, for anybody that doesn't know, like the Dalai Lama is this like tuning fork style, yeah, recovery. And you can find these on all time frames. And what I noticed at least is that when the overall market conditions change and are rather bearish, even on the lower time frames, you will more rarely find these patterns play out. And after the CPI dump, immediately, like it started on the
did
1
it.
minute, extended to the 1 hour, and then you had a 4 hour Dalai Lama. It was completed. And it's been a long while since I saw one in the wilds. So I like that.
what's interesting is that basically like summers have been bullish. If you look at 2019 after the whole bear market, June, July is we're at the highs, right? I mean, we've been pumping from June, but in July we're like at 13K from 3K. If you look at also this post-COVID era where we're like at 9 in July and we decided to pump 20K, and that's like really the first higher high in a long while, and that obviously triggers the whole 60K bull market. After the first 50% crash in 2021, we hit the bottom in July, and so all of July is a run, and now also July is where we don't break, where Sam put his buy walls, and we don't break, and the low is for now put in, and we have a nice trend here with in the end like kind of a 30%, right? But 30% on Bitcoin at 20K is means a lot, right? It means a lot. It means Bitcoin is not dead, Bitcoin is not dying, and if Bitcoin is not dying, crypto get a party. And so that's how you got a 2x Ethereum. That's how you got many shitcoin that went 5x. If you were before changing the chart, I was on bond. We were looking at bond in the dojo. Bond literally went up 10x in 1,050% in less than a month. But now obviously just retraced 60% of it. So we're only up 3x, but that's still, very interesting price action in here. And yeah, many coins are going up. I was also looking at Cake. Cake also had a strong day today, like 20% day almost. So altogether, it's up like 60%. So yeah, like I said, crypto gets a party if Bitcoin is not dead, and 20K is a very risky area for Bitcoin. Is it previous all-time high? So I guess so far Bitcoin is one more time, once again, not dead. So like I said, crypto is getting momentum, and especially everybody was very bearish on Bitcoin, saying 15K, 13K, 9K, and so or the best way to shut up the bears, that not only to save Bitcoin but to pump the alts, right? So I think that's what's happening right now. But yeah, beside that, I don't know. I don't have like very hot tips for just right now. But I was looking at Sol too. Here you have like when we were comparing, the lows of that crash, right, on Ether or Bitcoin, and how or SPY, right, and basically how these highs were like support. You can see how Solana didn't even make it there. So I don't know if that's like super bullish or if it's like, because usually I like to touch the line, right? So I don't know if that's bullish or if that's like just means that there is maybe a bear flag in the making. But to have like this final leg, or maybe it's never gonna happen. But yeah, definitely like some of the stuff that are not in the bear market since first time Bitcoin, first Bitcoin pump, first stop on Bitcoin, like here, stuff that are in the bear market only since end of the year are definitely like stronger. If you look at near too, near is also like way above these lows, right? Way above these lows, and flagging here somewhat with the maximum pain. So we'll see. But yeah, against ETH we have a little bounce right on support, which is like stuff we need to look for right now, like chart against ETH. If ETH is like attracting all the money and people are making money on ETH, then at one point you're gonna have some profit taking, and the profit will probably flow into other alts. So like we're saying, right, with
BNB had a huge breakout today. Finally
Yeah.
broke out of that BTC range, and the Ethereum pairing also doesn't look too shabby right now.
Yeah, I was waiting for
Look
someone to
at
bring
look
up
at
BNB.
the graph. Not so bullish on the graph, but like a call in the dojo 2 weeks ago, I was saying like, okay, if that low doesn't hold, and if this is a bear flag and it's gonna break that low, this is done. This is game over. After such a chart, like if we break this structure, it's game over, and it just literally bounced from there. Didn't want to die, and went 60% through. So that's a lot of money. Today 9%. Like Link too. Link is like also kind of the same structure here. Also 60% day. I mean, a lot of stuff are kind of. I hope this is not the last breath. But clearly they didn't want to die. Like clearly they had the opportunity to die and they didn't want to die. Even Algo against East, which is like fucking dog shit, even broke the lows. He's having like a day today, trying to come back in the range. So we'll see if it manages to reclaim it. But like this could be a clue that money want to come back and play around.
Cute meme reversion memes.
Right. Um, with like strong divergence or not. This is all bottomed out. This looks like he wants to come back. So does that mean Ethereum is gonna give back? And like you were saying, you did a very good point. You were saying how basically alts have been ranging the whole time. Like alt dominance are just ranging. It's interesting take. But even Dot, which is super like useless and bearish, is also having a day from that maximum pain level. Like every bull flag broke down just in order to make a higher low and cover crazy. Like basically what Bitcoin did, right? See these bull flags breaking down. So if you go on the daily, you can see that we only went to the breakout support, right? Like I always say, what's the candle that break the range? It's that candle. So you go on that support, and that whole crash was just us coming back to that breakout candle, trap people $1 below, and then bounce hard and make a new high, which is exactly the same pattern I've been talking for like uh, hours on the last call when I was talking about like was it Aave? Uh, was it Aave last week? Aave or Comp? I don't remember, but like that pattern I was showing you, so many alts were doing, and it's just doing it again one more time. So it's kind of like interesting to watch the to watch everything play out again, and like patterns playing out and structures, fractal playing out again. So I mean, I kind of like Bitcoin a lot here. Obviously, like not today, but I like what it does. I like where it goes. I like how it bounces. So I mean, I'm still accumulating. Like at the end of the day, I'm not pulling out my DCA order because we pumped 30% on Bitcoin. Like I lowered the amount of Bitcoin I'm buying every day. Obviously, like on the DCA portfolio, I'm not buying, as much as I was buying like at 20 or 19. But I'm still leaving my buys in because, it's just a long game and it's like the average in like still like it's pretty good, right? Like even if you buy at 23, not saying you should go heavy at 23, but you're still like down 60% on Bitcoin. Like in history, you never lost money buying 60% retrace on Bitcoin. So I'm not just gonna like stop buying because we are minus 65 instead of minus 72, or because I was expecting minus 80. It's like I'm still buying Bitcoin every day. Um, at the end of the day, like, if you play, the everybody says long term or macro, but just like look at something like that, Bitcoin by the S&P, it's still been, it's kind of the same chart as Bitcoin alone. Meaning like Bitcoin is bullish, right? If you just like do the same on the other side, S&P by Bitcoin is just gonna be like very bearish, right? Zoom out. It's just something that
It actually looked like a shitcoin accumulation.
right. When we look at oh yeah, it's like
not really helping you your point here. Sorry, but
no, because you have to use log
yeah, you do.
because it's just so fucking bearish and like every time
Bear flag.
every time you want to get bullish here, well, now we go back down. Oh, we break out. Look, Dalai Lama, whatever, whatever. Oh, and then break out lower high. Yeah, then you go down, and then you have a bear flag. And here, I don't know if it's gonna do it again, but it looks like bottom structure. We broke the high, and like if you want Bitcoin to bottom here, it means that's a trap. The same way,
You
the
just you just say Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. You, if
Bitcoin.
the same way like this. You have your high here, everything above was your distribution. You have your high here, everything above your distribution. You have your high here, everything above. If it repeat right the same fractal, that's where you sell stocks to buy Bitcoin. Or the same way KJ was saying,
Sell
people
Bitcoin, buy
now are
alts.
selling real estate to buy Bitcoin. And even worse than this chart, you can do with ETH, right?
I bet you it's even more bearish.
For sure. So like at the end of the day, I'm not like accumulating S&P 500 for 8% a year. I'm accumulating Bitcoin for 100% a year. Oh, I need the one from Bitstamp. It's the same. You have to go on the log chart, and it's so fucking bearish.
There is no bottom.
There is no bottom on that. So like you have your little retest here, but it's also bear flagging.
That's interesting. Never looked at it like that. Mo's asking about Matic. You wanna do him a solid and pull that one up? I mean, Matic has been one of the stronger alts, clearly.
Yeah, all the BNB, everything BNB related pumps.
Especially this
That-
guy, though.
Yeah, that was an BNB EIO, IO. I mean, long term, pretty bullish after this long range. This bull market obviously was great for Matic.
That's not the right chart though.
Yeah, you can pull up the BNB, the Binance one, just MAT,
Binance?
USDT. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, not the.
That-
Yeah,
That one.
probably.
You want this
Yeah,
one?
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
doing the same thing as Bitcoin, right?
Yeah,
but just like
exactly.
like more pronounced in both directions. But if you caught the beginning, like if you look also, I mean, it's literally the same thing as Bitcoin, and positionally, like look at where it is in relationship to like July of 2021. Like it's
So on the daily.
Yeah, if you zoom out, like see all that, like that's the deviation that leads to the high. But like, if you look at like I guess the middle of that, well, yeah, it's above that. But if you look at
I like
the
this.
support
fact
that broke
we're-
around a dollar is going to be psychological resistance, and
Yeah,
like it's getting close to like the bearish retest level.
The dollar was where I sold on the first try, right? On the first pump. Yeah,
right here.
it was. Yeah.
And even
Well, I mean, I love when you put this red line, which is like basically the first sell-off of this market. Matic lost 73% in a flash crash in 5 days. Use this as a low, then we came back to it, right? Like we came to like fetch the bottom of that candle. We came for the week. We even like trapped people below the week, and then we have a second run. And now basically like so here, like let's say you here you just had 2 days to panic. You know what I mean? Like you get people, obviously that's liquidation, right? So people got liquidated here. Then we come to get that week and match the level, and people had 2 days to panic here. But like the same level was also resistance right here and support right now.
And
So
break that
basically
above
that liquidation candle is still like super meaningful. And like the fact that, flash crash, we had a strong recovery, we were printing money like no tomorrow. Okay, we went on a second run, not Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin also went to a new all-time high, but everything went crazy, like the Solana, the AVAX, everything went crazy on the second run. But what I call the second run is because like we discussed this many times, but for the YouTube viewers, like I just want to remind them, a lot of coin didn't do the second run. If you look at the V chains, if you look at I put VET like the good old days. If you look at V chain, that second run is whack. Like Matic went to above all-time high. Solana went 20 times above all-time high. Like that's pretty whack. If you look also at Chainlink, strong asset. The second run was also pretty whack. That's what I want to. That's why we call like this the beginning of the bear market, and the Bitcoin first stop the beginning of the bear market. So
Yeah,
like,
that's how you get a much clearer view on the market cycle right now,
Sure,
in my opinion.
sure.
Than if you're looking at the layer ones that echo pumped.
So we've been discussing that for like 6 months now in the dojo, and so Matic also kind of Bitcoin took out the high, but barely did. Barely did. Just trapped people above like 69K, and but what I'm trying to say here is that here you just had 2 days to panic and flash crash below the low before the bounce, and actually a fucking strong bounce of the 34 weekly MA here, and then back in the trend. And now, same level, but you didn't have 2 days to panic. You had the whole 2 months to panic here. And you know, and you could even like zoom in and the same thing's happening again with that liquidation candle, right? And so we reclaimed that one, right? We reclaimed the angle, we reclaimed that angle. Um, Interesting, just for the fun, that liquidation candle 2 was that resistance here. Very interesting. And so I like kind of the structures here, you know, like I like these this is very like, I'm not saying this is gonna be the blueprint of every other chart, but this is kind of a reversal. Like literally this is a reversal. So now we just have like
I'm trying to think
bridge,
about the implications of this continuing.
yeah, we have to bridge that neckline and the EMAs, but as soon as we do, you can go back to previous markets. And I mean, that's just a ranging market. I don't have like much data in the past, but you know, let's say we had, you know, like these EMAs, you know, as soon as you go below, you know, reclaiming them as like, meaning, you know, it's like, okay, here it's pretty flat and pretty choppy and
Remember
ranging,
that
so like
November dump?
you
That November
violate
dump
them a
was
lot.
crazy.
But as soon as you, you know, as soon as you start trending and you're on one side of them, you fucking run, right? So here, you know, we need to go above $1, $1.05, $1.10, you know, stabilize there, break these necklines. But then, you know, it means a lot of things.
What I really like here, especially since you were going back to the ranging environment, is that the MAs are already starting to flatten out, and the lower look back one is even already trying to turn upwards now in the current situation, which is that's what I like to see. Like that's how you can make use of MAs too, not only as levels but also they're going to, obviously they're lagging, but when they turn, it's most of the time meaningful.
Yeah, that's interesting too.
So they might need to flatten out a bit longer, which would be
Yeah.
KJ's scenario, I guess. Right. But then, especially if you manage to reclaim a flat one that's not curving downwards anymore, which would be like different from the situation you had there a couple of months ago, where it tried to reclaim, but the MAs were still going down. I think that could be a really, really nice base.
Yeah, but like as of today, I just feel like, you know, that's a top structure. Like that's a pretty steep angle here, you know, very steep angle. It's kind of a double top. Like I'm not Elliott wave it, and I don't even know if what I'm saying is right, but this feels like a wave 5, you know, like 3, 4, you know, like whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 5 doesn't have to break the 4 so much. It can just, you know, if this is strong resistance and if all the sellers are at 99 cents, that's really like your wave 5 here. 40% in the matter of a week, not even, what? Hold on. 2 days. Yeah, sorry, that was a day. 2 days. You know, we trap people here and then we just pump 40% in their face. Maybe they are liquidated, maybe they buy back at resistance after 40% in 2 days after selling the bottom. But like that's a top here for me. You know, or like at least a double top in that time frame. We need
Back
I
to the
don't know,
dark
like
side.
this is
The
a
dark
very,
side.
very strong top.
Yep.
Can't be bullish here right now after 40% in 2 days and after 3x in 2 weeks.
What I do like though is your analysis of that wick level there from the first sell-off that held, which now kind of looks like golden entry-ish. If it comes back to that area again, I think you would most likely want to see it hold a bit higher than that. Maybe just test the flag again, like a bit higher. I'm still going to try and play that though. And I think that this month could have more room before what KJ laid out for us happens
See, for
in
me,
general.
let me just
I was thinking about the like inverted BTCD chart again, and what I didn't consider earlier today when looking at it was that there was a reason why we factored in the stable coins in the BTCD chart, right? So obviously the naked one and also the inverted one that I showed you is also ranging because the stable coins are in there. And that's just, how TradingView presents it for us. So in reality, alts probably didn't range as clearly as that chart suggests, right?
For Matic, I have a
We
marked
had
up
on
chart.
the capitulation on the inverted BTC chart, we had that major level being hit, and that was clearly like a strong breakout. And you don't see that on my inverted altcoin chart. So I just wanted to go back on that really quickly because that would have been a bit misleading. It's still significant in my opinion, but yeah, there was a reason why we weren't satisfied with that data anymore. Still, Xavi, would you mind if I take over just for 1 minute? KJ would have to
Sure.
because I found the cleaner version of that chart, and I still like it a lot. So this chart I've been using since somewhere around here. So it's just like my style of Ganfan on the inverted BTCD. And what I noticed now, zooming out, was how it reclaimed this angle, similar to Ethereum BTC, right? Like first of all, like this one got reclaimed and reacted really nicely, and now it's even reclaiming the Ganfan. And this looks pretty bullish. Like I see this more clearly, maybe because I got the MAs deactivated and everything, than on the BTCD chart where I was saying, okay, this is like a bounce level, right? If I just invert this real quick. So that's your usual BTCD chart. And I was saying, okay, this is support-ish, right? Still, when I'm looking at it inverted and with reclaiming that angle, this actually looks like a rather bullish consolidation, right? It got sold off hard on the first try. This is the daily, and now it's right back at the resistance and consolidating and using this angle as support again, which it did previously, in the past. And this actually looks kind of good. I think this wants to go up. So that's my final word on alts versus Bitcoin right now. I think, I mean, we're all pretty much in agreement on that for a while in terms of where this chart is heading. It's heading north. But I think even like shorter time frame, next 1-2 weeks, I think this is going up further.
So you
And
think
then
you
suddenly
think alts
you're
are going to go
looking at
higher
this
then?
yeah,
Meaning like
higher
basically like
versus
the low
BTC.
on BTCD
And
is
then
going to break.
suddenly you have like this what's that 1.5 year long ascending triangle. We can talk about that again once we reach those levels. But still, um, that's looking pretty promising. Yeah, so just wanted to show that real quick.
We shall see. Yeah, the implications of Matic breaking through again, like it's interesting to see what the rest of the market would be doing in that scenario. I think for that to happen, if you're going to see Matic above $1, you'll see ETH above 2,000 for sure. Like Matic will probably outperform, but it won't happen in a vacuum. I don't think. Like it's just too key of a level, and it just basically looks almost just like Bitcoin right now. Like there's
I just
differences.
read Mercedes-Benz is going to use and leverage Polygon, Matic blockchain for like data exchange stuff with the cars.
That reminds me of VeChain so much.
Yeah,
BMW news.
yeah, but except Matic is doing it.
Yeah, and except like we are way further along now. Also,
They want us to take a look at
some,
QNT. Should we pull up QNT?
someday news items like that are going to be real. like and have meaningful impact.
If you can't
And we are
understand Xavi
definitely close there.
talking, then you're not gonna make it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't make the rules. That's why it's so scarce. Can we pull up QNT for the people? I think I'm like ready to wrap up in a little bit anyway. But if you guys want more, if you guys want more of this type of content, I mean, this is basically the conversation we have every Sunday, in the dojo. So
yeah, other like aside from the fact how on Sundays we are a bit more structured, a bit more prepared, but
yeah,
Alpha.
so the issue with the QNT chart is all of this is
Matic.
missing.
It's the same thing as Matic though. If you just look at it,
So all of this is missing. I usually trade chart this on CoinTrader, but I'm not going to pull up my browser now. Yeah, so QNT had this long accumulation and big runs in 2018, was one of the altcoins that did better. And now you got
It's not
that
Matic,
that
actually.
that like picture perfect crash cycle thing, right? Going with the capitulation, the rounded bottom, breaking out, and now it's ready probably for its echo pump, and then you can get a backbreaker. I'm just, squiggling a bit.
Yeah.
And then sometime into next year it will be ready to properly go.
This looks interesting. There's not.
Yeah, and it's got the super strong community,
Yeah.
like really like cult-like community, and they have this central bank digital currency narrative, which we will have to see how much of that
Doesn't this
ends
look
up
like
playing out.
it looks like a lot, it looks pretty different than a lot of the alts that I've been looking at, doesn't it?
It does look a bit more like the DeFi charts, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Which is good. A couple of weeks ago, I was saying that I was focusing mostly on this style of charts, and I was using like DeFi charts as examples.
I think I need to see the rest of it.
Yeah. If you see the rest
Pull
of
it up on
something
Bittrex.
like that.
Bittrex.
Yeah.
So you can do like
that's
Bitfinex,
no, that's
QNT.
also not enough.
QNT BTC times BTC USD.
That's
Sorry,
divided.
Binance again. Sorry, Bittrex. Come on. There it is. But that's no. I did that. That's not the right one. It's you think it's times, really? Am I messing up the math?
No, that's perfect.
But that's not right though. That's not how it's supposed to look. Let me actually. Do they have like a USD calculated one? I guess they don't, right? No, QNT USD calculated by TradingView, maybe.
Like Mike in the dojo in the general chat wallet for you. You just have to copy paste.
Okay. Mike with the epic save.
QNT is $107. Jesus. I remember we were trading.
Yeah, so that was time. Okay, yeah, that's the right chart here.
This is the right one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
But that's like 2018, 2019. You can mostly ignore
So
now.
where is?
And it's basically it held on that long accumulation sideways range that it put in here, right? So that was a logical spot for it.
So this was one of the ones so that second high came when Bitcoin made its second high, but like look how much this outperformed like the other stuff. Like,
oh yeah, you're right. This actually did the big pump.
This is like Luna. It's like Luna, like without like going to zero.
Around when like when like AMP and Luna found their tops, right? Yeah.
QNT is like one of the only coin you could buy every cycle at every time it crashes and so much money out of it.
Yeah. It had
I don't know why. I don't know if it's the market maker behind it. I don't know who or what, but it always is so strong.
Yeah. Not as many X's as Matic from the bottom, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, without the news and without the narrative and nothing.
Yeah, but like way easier to catch, right? Because you had a way clearer support and Matic was way more trappy in that sense. So yeah, I like it. Should keep an eye on it. Wouldn't buy it today.
No. So, I guess I don't know. I think we have mixed consensus, which is fine. But
You are more in the camp of we're probably not taking those EMAs down and are finding a
Yeah.
top rather like soon, right? I mean, it could be.
maybe one more, but I think it's getting close. It's getting very close. And like especially like looking at like something like Matic, like it's like I feel like people are gonna try to squeeze the last bits of juice out of the move, and then they're gonna miss it. It's gonna be. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I could be.
I wanna see Ethereum at least tap the 21 weekly there at 2000 psychological level, can't ban resistance. I like that, and then I'll see from there. And currently, I'm trying to catch it low again, which is interesting. Like maybe that's also part of the sentiment.
I'll see how SPY closes the daily.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this now, and earlier this morning, somebody was asking for my Ethereum levels, and I circled this one, and it didn't quite hit it, so my alert didn't trigger. Although I put it a little bit higher, but it didn't work. So looking at this right now, maybe it's also part of the PTSD from the way down, where usually you fade these. We'll see. I also got an alert on a breakout, and I think if that comes, because we sold so close to here that I'm not that worried about missing a little bit. When that comes, I think you could even try for like a tighter entry, try to catch a move if it comes. Otherwise, I still would really like to buy like a sweep of those levels. We'll see.
Yeah,
we
might get a dip in
a
it.
little lower than I thought.
I think we could get the dip. We could get the dip, and then then the next levels come, and then that's that.
Yeah, I can get behind that totally.
Because like I'm looking at like BNB. And BNB is a good barometer for like altcoin strength. And like looking at like BNB's daily versus USD, it's like you're coming right into it, but like you're above like now you're above like that, and right there is also like the 99 MA, which isn't featured on that chart, but
I don't have them turned on right now.
Across
Why?
there, and like your next I guess that's a GAN is right around the 200. The 200's sitting at like 345 right now, and that would essentially be the neckline area from the previous big dump candle, as well as like the bottom of the other range. So like it would seem like this level can come, and if that happens, like it's not going to happen in a vacuum. Just like I said, like you'll get Matic above $1 and ETH around like 22, 23. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be too rigid with the idea that there could be another leg. However,
and also like if we get some stabilization, I think you can look for shorter time frame plays like BNB what it's doing right now. You will find other altcoins that didn't do that breakout yet.
Yes. Yeah.
We should probably go look for those now.
Right.
Like rather than being too hasty with trying to get OP
like something
again,
like, but then like
right?
some of them like just like don't. They just don't. They're just laggards and they don't follow.
Of course, like at some point the laggards, the late move stops and some just won't move.
Yeah, the leaders top and then the laggards like make like more lows. It's like
I still think that IMX should break out of this range before the move ends. Still like that chart. I think I'm on the
See, like
wrong.
ENS is like now ENS is like above its 200, but its chart history is so low that it's not, I don't think
Yeah.
it matters as much. But
So it also got rejected from its 21 weekly again. I still remember when Nunu was trading this upwards, I told him here when an A like that comes into existence and the first touch of it almost always is significant, and it rejected really hard off there. And now it's there again, this time holding a bit better, I'd say. So maybe needs some more juice and then can break it.
you know what's one of the most interesting charts from out of the majors to me that's like so different than everything else is Tron actually. I don't know what to make of this. It's like
The ever fucking trend line.
yeah, like what is this? The fuck is this? Like, is it gonna dolly or is it gonna nuke? I don't know.
That was so interesting when like everything went to shit down here. It totally looked like this giant descending triangle was finally going to play out, and then it didn't. Now
Yeah,
it's
because
back.
Justin
It's
said he
back
was
like
like he was gonna buy it. Justin
yeah
was like supporting the market, but it was pumping up. Remember, right around it was like in the around 80
yeah. It was
cents,
popping
8 cents,
up
8 and
right
change. I
before the
said like,
Luna collapse.
and everything
Yeah,
else was like collapsing. I was like one of your best RRs is shorting Tron here, because like
yeah.
it's not gonna withstand the next thing that happens. Like
And then it didn't even dump as deep. I mean,
no,
it was a 50% dump, right?
it would have
But
been a good one.
it held up better than than other stuff. It's interesting.
Yeah, this chart looks very interesting.
But that just shows you that, crypto is a market where like the the insider bid matters,
Of
right?
course, of course. Yeah.
FTT was also looking kind of interesting earlier this morning, because it's also making this nice rounded shape, by the way. And it didn't have like, I mean, it's not like the best performer, but in terms of something that didn't have its move yet, that could also have a nice breakout soon.
Hmm.
I'm not in it at the moment.
Just starting to
That
round.
looks good though, right? That looks better than this looked.
It's like for me, like if you're gonna trade these on spot, like it's kind of like trading stocks almost at this point, you know, something like FTT. Similar, like just because like you know who's in it, and, like the size of it, and it's like I don't know. I'd rather fuck with like let's see. Like something like
Xmon.
GMT, to be honest.
GMT?
Yeah. I don't know. That might be over, but it should get some sort of pump. Like,
Yeah, GMT,
it'll
yeah.
just like pump
That's
harder, you know?
yeah, it could pump hard, but it's way more difficult to read, for me at least.
True, true.
Yeah,
More
I don't know.
risky.
But
More
you
risky.
can see I haven't paid much attention to it. I missed all that move, and so I don't have like a proper chart for it. Maybe you have one instead.
Just looking at it, just based off of like the way it moves, it just pumps hard sometimes. Yeah, I think that's about it. Unless there's
Yeah.
anything else to discuss. Xavi, anything else? No?
No, actually, I gotta go.
Yeah, me too. I'm about to
Me too. I gotta
head
grab
to
something to
boxing.
eat.
Meanwhile, Tesla, what do you think? Tesla 900? It's happening. It's close. This is pretty damn close to it. It's the best. Like the Elon fat shaming pic comes out. Like as
Yeah.
soon as it's about to break the range, that's hilarious. It's
That
funny.
really was you like tweeted about that right when it happened, right?
Yeah, I said, You're gonna be too busy making fun of his disgusting body, and you'll miss the pump to 900. And like it was literally broke out like that day. It was super obvious. Like it's like everybody's all I'm seeing on my Twitter feed is like pictures of Elon. Meanwhile, nobody's looking at the chart of Tesla as it's about to break out. It's always that way. Like little stupid shit like that, I pay attention to. The same way I paid attention to Messi killing the woodpecker. I can't ignore it. I guess it's different. It's different. But yeah, I think SPY is starting to heat up a bit. It's just like in a spot. Like I can't be bullish in this spot. I've just too many. It's just not my spot to be bullish. Not.
You've been bullish all over the social media and YouTube for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks now.
Yeah, like
Uh,
yeah, pretty much like almost a month. I did the Cointelegraph, I think.
oh yeah, Cointelegraph like to bring you on to call the bottoms, right?
Yeah, and then they never invite me back. They forget.
You only get the shows with the lowest viewer count when everybody's wrecked.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah. It's what a shame. You hate to see it. Like I literally
Last
came
man
on
standing.
there. I broke down like this like long bullish thesis for them that like I had like 5-6 points, and then that like Bitcoin was at like 1800. I mean 18,000 or something, and I don't know. It is what it is. It is
You
what it
even
is.
you even spilled the beans on the adjusted BTCD chart.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
his take on it, the guy's take on it was completely off base. He like didn't even realize. That's why I was like, I don't even use BTC.D anymore. I think it's completely invalidated. I remember exactly when the market was nuking, and I was looking at BTCD. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, something's broken. This is wrong, and like because this is not what's happening. And then when we talked about it on the call, and you told me to do that, I was like, oh shit. Like, remember that was the same that Sunday. So I did like Cointelegraph, I think on like Tuesday or Wednesday, but we were on that
Yeah.
call talking about it, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like,
And we
BTCD
had
is like in the spot. It's really in
and
the
that
spot.
and that was a ghost town Sunday call too, I
Yeah,
think.
nobody was on the call. Everybody, coping, but it was in the perfect spot. And then at the same time, we're like, it was, I think we even talked about a potential bailout. Like something's going to happen. Like they can't let this continue. And like literally that same day, Sam came out and said something. So I'm like, all right, that's another thing. And there was just so much. There was so much to be
Yeah,
bullish
yeah.
about
You had
there.
like Sam's bailout announcements around that time.
Sam bailout. That was the same weekend. Like family members are calling me. All these different things are like, it's like you didn't have to look for it. It's coming. It's coming to you, across the board. And yeah, I mean those when you get that like all in packaged in one, in like a short period of time plus price, it's usually a good move, like a pretty good move. But when you play those moves, like I don't know, like you don't want to get round tripped, like when it gets to certain areas, you just be careful. Just be careful because like there's so much you can look at charts and you can look at what stuff does and you can see like it's interesting. It's interesting. Like the other scenario that I was thinking about was kind of like at the time I had remember I drew it up like on Bitcoin where it was like a cock and balls, right?
Mhm.
So like from like May 22 to June is like the left testicle, and then like the dip is the cock, and then like you make another testicle to the right. Like
Yeah, yeah.
in the
And
same range.
the
Like that could,
ranging on the right side happening way higher, right?
yeah,
I
that
remember
that can
that.
happen too. And it like makes this and like I guess it would be like cue the inverse head and shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
and then it fakes out one more time really nastily and then sends. I remember that when you drew it.
so
And that was also you drew that like down in the pits.
yeah.
Um,
That I mean, if we don't stop here, that is the implication. and it could either backbreak or it could do that, but it'll probably come back up there, like most likely. So Mo's asking, is BTC the adjusted BTCD and a bull flag? I mean, I'm not seeing it that way, and just because the nature, like, yeah, I use TA on this chart, but it doesn't mean that it's going to follow all the rules, because it is a ratio, and fundamentally this will forever be bearish. I mean, I don't see how this is ever like not a bear trend. So like I'm not like looking at it as like, oh, it's a bull. I mean, I don't know what you mean by a bull flag, but are you talking about like September from like 2019 to now? Like, I wouldn't even look at it. It's not worth looking at it that way.
I just pulled it back up again, and now no, it's like that's a bear flag, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, the only other like basically the only thing that could be bearish for alts here is if this does like the Xavi middle finger move here.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, that's like what you don't want to see if you're like long alts, is this support to hold. BTC and ETH rejects against USD. This starts to reverse, and it can do one of two things. It'll either retest, like, it'll come back up to about 58.70 ish, like around there, maybe a little higher, like in that area, and reject, and then it's like that's the bottom for alts of that move, and you can just like hold them for a while. You won't hear me say much as long as it rejects there. Or it goes above that, and then you're looking at like in the 60s, like mid 60s, and like then you buy alts, and you won't hear me say sell or take profit or anything for a long time. So like in general, like, yeah, I think that, as said, like, especially the people that are not traders, just whatever, like if they caught entries back in July, that time frame, and you just want to chill on them, like, that's fine. But like, I think this range is going to be a good one to buy, but don't discount the possibility of revisiting these lows, especially if this guy comes up. But I see Quantum's on the call, and there was just one thought. This is his concept, but I had thought about what he was talking about in regards to like Solana ecosystem being a place to play in the future, like especially for meme coins, and he has a whole thesis on that. Make sure to follow him on Twitter. Dude knows his stuff. But Q, one of the things I was thinking about also that kind of lends credence to that theory is that when you look at like the NFT space, like the Solana NFT ecosystem is definitely alive and well. There's like a lot of excitement on there, and that's generating kind of like degen capital that you want, like in an ecosystem for memes like that. I feel like obviously NFT and there are people that just do NFTs strictly, but like the people that are doing them on Sol, I feel like are more like well versed and diversified in other aspects of crypto as opposed to just NFT work. And like, if you see a run on Sol NFTs, which would probably coincide with like the Solana phone, like I think a lot of these things can kind of work together. It also adds to the bullish thesis for memes on Solana.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. I'm not really in the NFT space much at all, but I'm actually looking at an NFT right now, a floor of a specific coin that's it's an NFT project which is actually breaking new all-time highs in terms of value against Sol, and they kind of have a mind of their own right now, kind of separate from the market. Although I do think that, like, when you see that Solana physical store, it's really hard to be bearish. I think I was saying this earlier, that whoever can bring the digital world into the physical as fast as possible will win. And I think that Solana is doing that. And at some point, you kind of got to put your opinions aside about what you think about Sam and whether you like the person or not, or which side you think he is on the political spectrum, it's pretty apparent that a lot of his wealth is going to be invested into Solana growth. And when you look at CoinMarketCap, which is going to be a good strategy going forward, if you just go type in CoinMarketCap and just go to the Solana ecosystem in terms of the coins that are on top of that, and you can see the total market cap of everything based on Solana, that's probably going to grow, by a substantial amount over the next like 4 or 5 years. And in regards to your selection of what to pick from right now, you really don't have, that many coins to even pick from on top of the Solana ecosystem. Is just so young. And in regards to the whole meme coins, if you go type in, there's a section on CoinMarketCap that is Dogon, and it's supposed to be like all the meme coins that are all like Dog based, whatever. And if you just scroll down and you look at Doge, look at the market cap, and I'm not going to give out any names, but look at Doge, look at the market cap, look at Sheeb, look at the market cap, look at Dogelon Mars, look at the market cap, look at Baby Doge coin market cap, look at Samoyed coin, look at the market cap. And then if you keep scrolling, I'm not trying to call out any teams that are working on any of these, but most of these other ones are essentially just scams. A lot of these projects that have come out, they don't have really devs anymore. They're just meme coins that were just like somebody tried to cash in real quick. It didn't take off. But in the top 5 of those meme coins, one of them is significantly undervalued. That's associated with a 3rd generation blockchain platform, which is going to get so much more traction over the next few years. I mean, it's asymmetrical. Go right now on CoinMarketCap and take a look at Neo. When Neo first came out, it was called Ant Shares. And if you bought Neo so early, like if you bought it at 10 to 15 cents, no recession, no COVID crash, not the 18 bear market or the COVID crash took you back to your entry level. And when it comes to some entries, you got to think about it like this in crypto. Some entries are asymmetrical. You're never going to get a $20 million market cap Matic again. It's not happening. You're not going to get a under 1 cent Matic again. These aren't like Luna situations where everything has potential to do what Luna did. Dogecoin is never going back to $5 million market cap. So what I'm trying to say is that there is a definite asymmetrical bet that still exists in the meme world right now. And I think that one of them still has potential to go 250 to 500x, if not further. And when it does happen, don't think it'll take as long as Doge did, because the market's already saturated. So it would probably be at the equivalent speed of what you had on Shiba Inu. So just take that into consideration, that there are some things that when you buy so early, it's just asymmetrical. And it doesn't matter if it goes 30, 40% down or 50% down. Whenever Matic had that large capitulation, it was like 2 years ago, where it tanked like 80%, I think in like 2-3 days, it still ended up going like 100x plus from there. So
Oh shit, I'm talking to myself. I'm muted.
No, I can hear you. I can hear you.
No, now
you were here.
Oh yeah, I was saying this. It happened in December of 2019.
I think that like giant pump and dump that was when
this was Binance IDOs. This was Binance IDOs. It was Theta, Matic, Raven.
And I think that was also when all the like anti-Matic team and anti-Indian memes came out. Everybody was like, Sandeep got you.
Yeah.
I remember that. Like Matic had extreme FUD. Basically, sounded
it was the top of
recover.
the Theta pump. So Theta, here, watch this. If I remember correctly, but Theta went absolutely berserk, I believe, at this point. And then, where is it? This was one of them. So this was, all right, so this is a different one then. May 2020. Where the fuck is it? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Where is it? Then it's not this one. My bad. I remember, you know what I'm talking about, Stillman? There was a time where, like, it was Theta, Phantom, Raven, and Matic, like, all dumped, like, all at once on Binance. And it was just, like, it was fucking blown out. Like, everything was blown out. And
I remember,
you're
yeah.
right. You're right. They did have, like, the kind of, like, the, you know, Indian people took your money type of thing going. But if you bought that dip, like, fucking ran up like crazy. Like, maybe it's here. Might be here. Sorry. Where did Quantum go? So, like, I was muted. I was talking.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm just chilling. Yeah, dude. You know, I'm so bullish on the meme coins on the Solana platform that, like, nobody has to follow through with it. But just know that if you find that coin at $5 billion market cap, I officially have $30 to $50 million. Like, let's just lay that out right here. I'm not making the same mistake that I did with Shiba Inu. You got to go with conviction. So I think it's just a matter of time, honestly. I'm not telling anybody to buy anything or to follow what I'm doing. I'm risking an amount I can afford to lose. But I just think that long-term altcoin dominance has one way to go, up. Whether we go down temporarily or whether we don't go down temporarily, over a long period of time, it's just going up. Bitcoin dominance will likely continue to go down. Yep. And we just need a window of opportunity where we have an influx of capital come in. These people on TikTok are going to ramp it up, especially, man, I'm just so bullish on Solana and the Solana ecosystem that it pains me that it's not the right time, that we just have to wait. We're going to have to still, like, I don't even have any Solana right now, to be honest with you. And it's just because, like, I don't think we're just going to immediately go from here directly to new all-time highs. I think we're going to put in a range. It's going to be a while. And we're going to have to essentially go through that time correction that it takes to kind of build up a new cycle. And during that time, some things are still going to be, you know, great to buy. I mean, you were just talking about Quant. Quant, during that entire bear market of, like, what was it, 2018, it was one of the only coins that, if I'm not mistaken, maintained bullishness through the bear market.
It actually 10x and, like, it had, like, periods of extreme outperformance. Similar, like, a bit similar to Link, maybe a bit more impulsive, but it was really good.
And it had from 2018, it didn't see its top until 2021 and really came from 23 cents all the way to 380. You know, it's like at this point in my trading career, I used to never focus on these and I would always focus on blue chips, but I think that the blue chips have been very saturated after this market cycle. And I'm a lot more interested in finding, like, what's becoming the next blue chip, plus who's going to be the 100Xs, who's going to be the 300Xs. You know, I had Hex, I had Shiba Inu. I just didn't really stick through it because I've never learned how to hold 100X, and I never have. I've always been a trader, so I never knew how to occupy that behavior until I learned the cost of not having that behavior. And now I've incorporated the ability to hold some things straight down to zero if I need to, but it's an asymmetrical bet, and I'm allocating a part of my portfolio to where if it gets decimated, it's cool, it's fine. But I think, you know, in some regard, you risk more not being involved than being involved. If you have 3% of your equity that, let's say, goes, you know, 500x, your life has changed forever. If you lose 3% of your portfolio, that doesn't really matter. But if you miss out that opportunity to 5 to 8x your entire portfolio using 3% of your capital, then your life is worse off if you missed that. And all you had to do was allocate such a small amount. It's just a matter of, like, you know, it's just a matter of being okay with seeing that go to zero, even though that's probably not going to be the case.
100%. I'm sorry, but I really do have to go. I'm glad you were able to join us for a little bit, though, man. We'll do it again.
Thanks, KJ. No worries.
Yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. But about to shut it down. If you like, make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll do some more. But everyone have a good day, and farewell.
Bye-bye, guys. Have a nice weekend.
Guys.
Too long.